is brilliant. So, Duncan Harris and Seamus Haney in position, green flag at the back. Is it going to be another win for Luke Herbert, or can someone else finally steal the top step? Watch for the red lights at the bottom right corner. They will go on, the revs will rise, they will hover on the clutches, then they'll dump them and away we go. And it's a strong start again from Luke Herbert from the front row of the grid. James Cousins slots into second place. It is side by side for third between Townsend and Smith. And Townsend giving as much as he can up the inside line to hold on. But Smith has got the grip to try and take third place. And a cracking start also for, I can see, for Colin Bicef on the inside. He's got up to fourth or fifth position. One of the Paddock Promotions motorsport cars runs wide. But now down towards Beckett's for the first time. And it is Herbert leading the way with Cousins in second place. Smith in third, side by side for fourth and fifth. Great starts for Bicef and also for Fletcher. Also getting in there is Abby Eaton. And she might be a bit dubious to see that Simon Baldwin's behind her, because those two got together in the final race at Donington at the old hairpin, which compromised both their races. So that could be pretty tasty down towards Brooklands for the first time. Nonetheless, here they come up towards the left-hander at the end of the straight. It could be two, maybe three abreast into the right left-hander they go towards Luffield. One car running wide is Gary Townsend as he snatches a front brake, and that's going to let one, possibly both of the Paddock Promotions cars towards the front through. Will filter their way past 36 Mark III MX-5s. It's a fantastic sight to watch with so many top club drivers. A couple of cars running wide, one being Patrick Fletcher, the other one onto the gravel. I think that's Simon Baldwin or Sam Bailey, I think. No, it is Sam Bailey in the 107. Simon Baldwin still continues on. The end of the opening lap then. Herbert leads by 0.4 of a second from Cousins to second place, but for how much longer? Here comes Sam Smith up into Cops for the second time, and now also carrying momentum is Abby Eaton around the outside. Look at the momentum she's carrying. 2 or 3 cars running wide. One I think was Richard Amos, the other one possibly was Braden Fletcher by the looks of it. And Abby Eaton is actually up to third place already. She's gone past Colin Bicef, looking round the outside of James Cousins, and with the grip she's got on the outside line, she might well do it. Cousins leans on her on the exit. It's also side by side between, believe it or not, Colin Bicef and Richard Amos, who incredibly, he's leading club class, but he's flying on his first weekend in SuperCup. He's up to 6th place and staying there on legitimate pace, Chaz. Incredible stuff.
It is awesome to see, and that's the thing, you know, these any sort of club racing like this does promote this sort of debut performance from drivers. It's great to see people coming into these series. There's the hazards on there as well. Bit of contact going on in the middle. Oh, we'll have it back. You stick me the elbow in my side, mate. You can have another one back there. That was the 116 getting involved. They're 3 wide on the exit of Luffield as well. On Woodcut, there's a 007 smoke screen there kicked up by the dust. They're all over the shop trying to sort this out. And the 116 manages to survive that as well. We've actually got the 23 and the 28 side by side. They're all over the shop at the moment. That was Martin Tolley and Christian White. Those two just getting a bit elbowy in there as well. Plenty of fun going on here. And, well, you said at the top of this one, though, Scott, that it was going to be action-packed. They're just thinking, oh, track limits, what are they? Absolutely flinging it around. Compton, look at this for the lead as well.
And this is crucial. This is the 2 championship contenders. It's Luke Herbert and Sam Smith going at it for the lead. And if they keep on holding each other up, guess who's waiting to try and pounce on it? She might be an invitation driver, but Abby Eaton will take a win in this championship any day of the week. She hasn't lost any of her touch by one of these cars when she won the championship back in 2014. And crucially, Sam Smith has the fastest lap at the moment because it's first in this way and that. But still, Luke Herbert showing that fantastic defensive driving to hold off his main championship rival. We look back here to see James Cousins funding up one of his fellow rookies for this year, which is Richard Amos, and I'm staggered by Richard Amos' performance. It just shows not only what a decent driver he is, but also there's lots of skirmishes going on in the mid-pack there as Chaz is just making exclamations in the background, and I think rightfully so because it's getting very close, but it also shows just how well sorted BC Cars, which runs both Sam Smith and Richard Amos, how well sorted those cars really are.
Yeah, I wanted to just point out as well, look at the front of Luke Herbert's car, the front left. Oh, there was a car out of shape there. Just in the background, I'm just trying to catch out who that was. But the front left of Luke Herbert's car looks like it's been pushed up slightly. That was a moment. That was not pushed up slightly. Flipping heck. That was all over the shop, that. But honestly, the front left of it just looks slightly raised. When they come towards us, down towards Brooklands, just have a look at it. That's if he's still in the lead. There's a bit of a dent on the back on the front of Sam Smith's car, I should say. Abby Eaton in there as well. Cousins' car is looking very happy with itself with the uplifted corners after plenty of contact there. He's even got the hazards on to warn people to go away. But look at this next shot now. Look at Herbert's car. The front left, on screen our right, it's definitely raised up just a tiny bit, isn't it? It looks a bit odd.
It could be a deliberate setup on the suspension. Oh, one car's gone very wide off the radio, it looks like, on the run-up area. It's on the CCTV camera in the background, but look at this. It's really stacked up for the lead now, and again, Herbert slides out wide, and Smith is giving it everything he can to try and influence it. And Happy Eaton thinks, I'm not scoring points, but do you mind if I maybe come through, Sam?
Oh, contact behind. There's 2 cars completely sideways. Just caught it off camera there. Cousins with his hand in the air saying, what are you doing, mate? I don't want to go out on the gravel. This is circuit racing, not rallycross. He manages to get back on, but as you could see there, he definitely was not happy with that contact. Fantastic shot from above the start-finish line there. And as they go down towards turn 1, it is Smith that's gone down the inside into the lead by the look of it, Scott.
Almost, because sticking around the outside of looking on the cameras in the background, he has just about held on. But the crucial thing is Smith is in position to have the inside line here. Does Herbert dare to go around the outside? And what factor is Abby Eaton going to be? They all hit the brakes together. Luke tries to go down the outside, and Luke's going to leave the door open. He's going to leave it for one position and maybe two, because finally Abby Eaton's going to try and make the move that she couldn't make in race 1, and she is going to make her way through. And what's crucial also now, she's got the toe on Sam Smith, which means it could push Luke Herbert from the lead down to third in a couple of corners. Colin Bicep is trying to come back at them now in third place. Abby Eaton incidentally has the fastest lap of the race, and that's Richard Amos off the road. So he was running so well. If he can get that going, they might be hopeful. As back up the inside for second place. Excuse me, Abby, you're not in the championship fight. Get out of it. Into second place, back goes Luke Herbert. Abby gets shuffled down to third. Fourth now for Colin Bicep. What a return he's made. He missed out in the season last year, comes back triumphantly, and he's faster than he's ever been in fourth place. It's absolutely superb. And up to fifth place now, on some decent form at the moment, is last year's Mark 1 champion John Langridge, learning about Mark 3s on the fly here and running one of his best performances so far, Chaz.
Yeah, he's absolutely flying at the moment. Herbert's diving around all over the back of Smith, though. He's trying to put him off at the moment, but Eaton and Bysouth just in there in the fight. In fifth position, you've got Langridge, I should say, just a little bit on his own, to be honest. But he's not going to be too fussed with that, because it's good championship points, of course, for fifth place. Here is the battle again for the lead then. Smith still leading them. Herbert down the inside. Abby Eaton trying to make that outside line work. Oh, Sam Smith's gone a little bit deep, though. Down the inside, Herbert tries it. Abby Eaton gets a great run on the exit, though. That means that if she can force Herbert over to the right-hand side, that he's not going to get the slipstream.
Possibly so. That's very well pointed, because she held that outside line. The momentum she's carried might help, but look at Colin Bysouth. He might be actually inadvertently helping Luke Herbert by shoving him down the straight, and it's possibly working. He's got the toe from a number 1. Herbert covers the braking zone for Eaton, and they've boxed her in. Herbert takes the lead, takes the second position. Bysouth on the outside line, hangs it round the outside into Luffield and says, "Excuse me, Abby. Again, you're not part of this championship fight. Out of my way. I fancy a podium." So into third place he goes. He takes a tighter exit. That might give Abby a bit more momentum. But again, if potentially Bysouth can get a little bit more of a toe from Luke Herbert as he starts to chase after Sam Smith, there might be a possibility to make that happen. Cross the line went Bysouth and Eaton. 10,000ths of a second separated them side by side. And Bysouth does in fact make the move and is up into third place. And if he can make that, I believe that should be his first podium. But we've still got half the race to go to decide if that's ever going to happen or not.
That's the thing. We've got so much action already and half the race to go. Herbert's managed to get alongside Smith. He's right behind him, gives him a bit of a push in the rear, to say the least. But Smith, he's soaking up this pressure really well. The all-white car with the white wheels looks phenomenal as well. I really do like that car. But Herbert, he's being a cheeky Herbert at the moment. He's all over him. But like you said, though, Scott, Bysouth doing a great job in third. Abby Eaton, though, will not take that line down. She will want to be like, right, watch this. Herbert, he's also saying, watch this. Famous last words. Chucks it down the inside. A little bit of the cement dust kicked up.
And look at this. Yeah,
Bysouth down the inside of Sam Smith and Herbert as well. Doesn't quite do it. Maybe a tiny bit of contact. Sam Smith goes, not on your life. Get out of the way. Abby Eaton's thinking, right, I'm a part of this now. Watch this, lads. Cheers. Bit of a drift there from Bysouth as well. And somehow Herbert's managed to get back into the lead. This is phenomenal stuff. But like I say, famous last words, watch this. Chuck it down the inside, but amazing. And the 10 and 5 right together as well as they cross the line. Yeah. That, of course, was Braden Fletcher and John Langridge. So I was saying before that Langridge, car 5, P5 was safe, but he's definitely not now as Fletcher gets fourth. Fifth.
And still 6.5 minutes to go, which is fantastic. We've still got plenty more. Yeah, help, exactly, for our voices, I think, after that one. So, side by side again, they're at it once more.
Oh, God.
It's almost children play, isn't it? Come on, settle down, children. Or not, because it's quite a good battle, actually. Round the outside does go Sam Smith, and he's going for it. If he can hold on, Herbert will have to give him the room. And I think he's there, though. He's got that line he needs. He's alongside. That's critical. And neither of them have a toe. The crucial thing is, Abby Eaton and Colin Bysouth are both giving a toe to each other. And it's working, because here they come. Is it going to be 3 abreast? Abby Eaton's going to try and maybe fire it down the inside. Here she comes. It is going to be 3 abreast as they turn in. Is it going to be close? Eaton goes for second up the inside into Brooklyn, so she might well get it. Unless Smith can hang around the outside, which he can't. But then she's on the outside line trying to get back past Luke Herbert. Sam Smith gets back up the inside. This is incredible. Fantastic racing from the MX-5 SuperCup. One of the best championships in British Club Motorsport, and it really is proving it right now. Herbert from Smith, from Eaton, from Bysouth, the top 4 altogether. Let's look at the gap between all 4 of them across the line. It is, would you believe it, less than half a second between the top 4 of them. And John Langridge and Patrick Fletcher are about 2 or 3 seconds back, battling over their own position. Eaton back up the inside for second place, or tries to on Sam Smith. Can't get it done. loses momentum, and now here comes Colin Bysouth, and it starts all over again at Beckett's.
Every single time they get out of Woodcote, it's just reset, see what you can do at Cops, and then go from there, develop it. Well, at the moment, though, Smith still trying to pile the pressure on Herbert. Herbert, though, I mean, we said it earlier on in the first race, you can tell he's a defending champion. The way that he can still go really deep into Brooklands, keep the car in the middle of the circuit, not even on the racing line, and still hold the position from drivers like Smith, Eaton and Bysouth is just phenomenal stuff. You can see now Smith going to the outside line. He's thinking, right, if Herbert can do this, I can do it as well. Tries to get around the outside, gets a bit of an overlap, but he has to compromise his line. Abby Eaton's now going to try and take advantage of that, but nothing doing there. Unless you can poke it down the inside, she's going to have a look, but they're all doing this little line through Luffield that I mentioned earlier, where you just sort of skim across the first part of it, run out a little bit wide mid-corner and then get the slingshot on the way out, and they're all wise to it. That's the thing. All four of these drivers know the tricks in the book. They are really wise to it, and it's fantastic to see. Look at Herbert. He's just thinking, right, stuff you. I'm going right to the inside here, and I'm going to come back across. Hello, I'm still here. Smith's like, on the brakes. Chuck it in. Get on with it. Abby Eaton's just sitting back watching. Well, I say that. That's definitely not that's not spectating.
That's not watching. That's getting involved,
Yeah.
and rightfully so. Look at this, and the two contenders are side by side again. And this time now it's Smith with his nose in front, and he takes his turn in front of her. They going through, or does he? Because the Herbert's back up the inside yet again, side by side with Beckett. Still a bit of an oversteer moment for Smith, but he holds on against the inside line. And again, he's got that momentum and the position. But watch for the two cars behind. Eaton and Bysouth both have that toe on Sam Smith, and they're going to get involved as well. Meanwhile, behind them, Braden Fletcher has got past John Langridge in the background. Also, they're being charged by Simon Baldwin, and here they go again, 2 by 2, hurrah, into Brooklands. Smith gets his nose in front this time, makes the move, and is in front of a number 1. Now the 68 of Abby Eaton, the Clapham North car, tries to go around the outside as well, but can't quite make it stick just yet. But she's trying. You have to commend her effort. She's really going for it. Almost gets edged out wide. Both Herbert and Eaton clip the gravel on the exit of the corner. It's unfortunate we can't put a camera on everyone, because I'm looking on the cameras in the background. There's so many groups of cars and battles going, you don't know where to look. But ultimately, this is where the main action is, at the front of the field, where it's key for the championship. Eaton up the inside for second place in the Cops corner. It won't affect Smith for the championship if he stays in third place, if he can stay there, because that Colin Bysouth thinks, ding dong, fancy, remember me, I'm up for third place if you don't mind. And we're back to what we had effectively in race 1 with Easton on the back of Herbert now. It's getting slightly under brakes and just hovering on the rear end of Herbert. He bounces over the curb, but they're all going to get the toe now. The one that might benefit the most here is Colin Bysouth. He's going to get a triple toe down the back straight on the run towards it, and there's only 2.5 minutes left. I have to ask the question, how are these four going to sort this out?
Oh, I don't know. Let's just flip a coin or flip a couple of them. They're nearly 4 wide into Brooklands. Herbert defending hard against Eaton. Eaton just has a bit of a lock up there. And I was just going to say, though, Bysouth hasn't really made too many efforts so far. Drifting competition around here by Herbert and Eaton. I'd say that Herbert definitely wins that one. That's if he doesn't win the race, but I'm pretty sure that he's got a good shout at it, let's say that. But Bysouth at the moment, he hasn't made too many efforts to take this away. 5th position, by the way, Fletcher seems to there's Langridge, and I was going to say Baldwin was in with a shout, but they're right in the middle of the road there.
And I'm afraid that has, unfortunately, that might possibly have the makings of possibly a red flag. Session stop, red flag. Well, and no surprise really. Now, one involved was John Langridge. The other one was Simon Baldwin's coming to the pit lane.
It was like a preemptive commentator's curse, because I was going to say that Baldwin had made some moves and got up there and started to chase the pair of them down, and then all of a sudden that happens, I'm afraid. So as things stand, if it's declared a result, which I'm pretty sure with 1.5 minutes left it will be, Herbert takes somehow the win there, but that's obviously...
I think Herbert crossed the line just before the red flag was called.
Yeah.
I think. Which might mean that if they go the countback of a last complete lap...
Although actually, no, if they...
It's interesting because...
It's potentially, isn't it?
It's interesting because, like I said, it's like Brazil 2003 all over again, isn't it? Because it's like whoever's in front of the last complete lap, when the leader crosses the line, that's obviously where they count it back to. If they have to count it back a further lap, it will then put, I think, Smith into second place and Eaton into third. But even so, it wouldn't have changed the fact that Smith was going to get the points for the second place anyway.
Yeah, true.
So
it's a real shame that, though. There was, as you saw from the zoomed-in camera shot, there was quite a lot of fluid coming out of the front of that car. It must have been quite a big hit. We've seen quite a lot of different lines going around Brooklands, and it does close up quite a lot, but I may be thinking there that I'm just trying to sort of assess the damage. It looks like a right rear hit, though, on the second of the cars. So obviously, the number 5 is in the foreground there of Langridge, and I think Baldwin was involved because Baldwin came in the pit lane, actually, so it must have been one of the other cars. I'm just trying to check which of the colours that is. Is that one of the Paddock Performance cars? It's not,
No,
is it?
I want to say it's possibly Michael Nibbs.
Oh, it is, yeah, Nibbs is he's just come up as missing on TSL, actually.
Right.
So, yeah, I think maybe...
Yeah, it looks like it's the 82 of Michael Nibbs, and it's the... Sorry, yes, 82 of Michael Nibbs and the number 5 of John Langridge, unfortunately. So
I'm just wondering how he's hit it with the rear, but, you know, if Langridge was probably involved in an incident that left him in the middle of the road, then Nibbs could have come through and hit the front of the car, because I was going to say, for it to get as much damage as it's got there, from two cars that were going around the corner together already in a battle, it would be it'd be quite a strange hit, but obviously we do hope they're okay. Bit of an odd incident there. Unfortunately, we didn't quite see it directly in our eye shot, but yes, there is the result then. It is declared a result, and what a great race that was all the same.
Absolutely. Shame it had to be curtailed, but of course a red flag for that incident at the end. But as Luke Herbert, as we correctly presumed, did cross the line at the end just before the red flag came out, it does mean that Luke Herbert is declared the winner, with Abby Eaton again in second place and Samuel Smith in third, but he still gets the points for second place anyway. And I think also Abby did also get fastest lap, but again, as she's an invitation driver, she won't get the point for that in many cases, and that is pretty much a result declared. Colin Bysouth was brilliant in that race and got fourth. Braden Fletcher gets a personal best for him, much improved for Paddock Performance in fifth. James Cousins picks up sixth. Clive Powers is seventh, from Sam Bailey, Martin Plowman and Adam Bessel, with much improved result from race one, rounding out the top 10. 11th for Clive Powers. He wins the club class at a canter, actually. Top club class driver from Sam Bailey, and then Martin Plowman from Adam Bessel and Declan Lee. I think it's a bit of a shuffle there. There's a couple of duplicated drivers there, I think. Declan Lee and Alex Miller from David Henderson, and Christian White from Nick Rutter and Simon Fleet, who round out the top 20. It's Matt Pitford 21st from Chris Richardson, then Gary Townsend, George Grant, Martin Heath, David O'Reilly, Bruce Robinson, Liz Walton, Xavier Brook and Duncan Harris. And then we'll see the last few cars on the result from those that we lost and that's finished. And so we had Chris Lindley in 31st, Seamus Haney 32nd, Scott Wright in 33rd. And that car that was on the inside, I thought it was Patrick Fletcher. Thought he had some kind of issue, and it looks like he did, unfortunately. So he was out of that race, and so was Richard Amos. And also we had Martin Tolley in the field as well, who also, he looks like he dropped out after 3 or 4 laps, unfortunately. So, never a dull moment in the MX-5 Super Cup, as it's been shown. And it's the same top 3 as before, so we've got a bit of time for the cars to come back around, because they've all parked, most of them have parked on the pit straight. And the result's been declared because of the fact that we were past 75% distance in that race, so we can declare a result. And it's the same top 3, and they're all going to head into pit lane, but the other way this time, so they're probably going to end up at the Parc Ferme somewhere down the end. So whether Bryn has to run down to the end to find them, or whether they're going to bring them back around to have a chat, nonetheless, either way. I'm also just seeing on the CCTV camera as well, just a shot of John Langridge's car, and I'm afraid it is not a pretty sight on the front of it. That's going to need some work ahead of the final rounds at Brands Hatch.
Credit where credit's due, though. The bonnet, and just to sort of try and describe this very briefly, the bonnet is very bent in. The front right of it is a good foot higher than it normally is. However, the split is still in one piece, joining it together at the bottom. So if you are in the market for an MX-5, make sure that you get one with the splitter that's the same strength as whatever John Langridge has got on that, because that's a very sturdy front end by all stretches.
Yeah, silver lining and all that, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose so. It's a bit of an odd one. Apologies, everybody. I went off on a bit of a tangent there, but still, very entertaining race throughout, though. That was absolutely awesome to watch, and we can sort of catch our breath a little bit there, because, of course, coming up after this, we have the Dunlop Touring Car Trophy and the TCR UK Championship and VW Cup all in one race, and it's going to be very exciting indeed. And as you can tell, I am one very excited boy for this. It's going to be a very, very strong race. And then after that, we have, to round out the weekend, just after 5 o'clock, the BRSCC Club Sport Trophy with the City Car Cup. That's a 45-minute race. And if you think that you've seen a good mix of cars on a track day, wait until you see this. It's going to be amazing to see. But you can see there, the wind has died down slightly here this afternoon at Silverstone. It was a lot stronger earlier. The Union Jack flies just above the BRDC building there. It's a great sight out of the commentary box here. We're on the exit of Woodcote, just looking over at the BRDC buildings as well, and we can see the main straight. We can see also just the exit of Brooklands, and then Luffield and Woodcote as well, and just down towards Copse. And I think in terms of weather, Scott, it's been an absolute blessing this, because recently the weather's been a bit all over the place, so to get a nice clean sunny day for this racing has been brilliant.
It has. It's been typical sort of late summer, almost early. It's been slightly, I guess, unusual warm early autumnal weather, I suppose, because we're into September now. Of course, we haven't had the official end of daylight savings declared. That doesn't come until towards the end of October. But we believe that we have the top 3 down in the Parc Fermé, so we can head down to Bryn, who can have a chat with them and see what they thought of that quite astonishing second MX-5 Super Cup race.
Yeah, not quite actually, I'm afraid, Scott. I am here. I'm having a lovely time with trophies and with first, second and third marker boards and with caps and with face masks and stuff like that. But you can see I haven't got a face mask on, and that is because there are no drivers. Because at the end of that race, although the race was red flagged, the cars came back down onto the grid, and as you saw, they went back into Parc Fermé, which is all the way down the end there. So to get the drivers to here would take way too long, and the trophy is going to be sent actually up to them so they can get them that way. But we have got the lead up to TCT, and I cannot wait for this race. Round 4. This is the exact halfway point, or halfway through this race will be the exact halfway point of the 2020 season. And Henry Neal just has it by a nose at this moment. But we know that Lewis Kent is really, really chomping at the bit. He wants to take that one there. And don't write Max Hart off. He's a guy who's been getting quicker and quicker and quicker. He was saying to me that one real problem he has with the Touring Car Trophy car, the TCR that he's racing in, the TCR Cupra that he's racing in, is that he really finds it hard to get used to that car. He has no time for any form of testing. So in the Cupra Leon, he gets into the car, they set it up as best they can, but he's used to single seat races, remember. So Max Hart gets into this car, it doesn't work in any way that he's used to. The braking points, they're his biggest problem. He was saying to me that where the brake markers are, he has to brake so far before that to where he would normally brake when it comes to single seat. So that is what Max has been saying about the Cupra Leon when he races in TCT. And that's coming up very, very soon. We'll get on the grid maybe when the cars come out. We'll have a little wander around if we can do. So we'll have a little pause at the moment. We'll be back very, very soon from Silverstone, from the National, for the next instalment from the Dunlop Touring Car Trophy.